Hey people, what's up? What's up? How are you? Guys, invite more people. Just gonna start in 5 minutes. Let's share. Let's like and share with others. And for others, you can copy the link and share on your WhatsApp. So we're gonna give it 2-3 more minutes, then we start. It's not going to be much of that long discussion, but one of those that, we need to share insights into this crypto space. What exactly it is, what are the things that we need to clear up, what are the things that we need to do, especially when it comes to this ever-evolving technology. So, hi people, what's up, how are you, How are you, Tai? Let's share, let's like and share so that we can start. How about we start at 3 minutes past? I see we are still 34 people still counting. Let's push it to over 100. Hi Kichumetsi. Hi Annie. How are you people? How are you? How's everyone? And how is those that are here for the first time hearing about this discussion for the first time? You are welcome. And I would just want to say, just listen and go and research again. You never know what happens after you give it an ear, right? So let's share, let's like and share. But I think let's just start. And remember, I'll save this live. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this interesting discussion. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to talk more, or let me say undress this thing called a crypto ecosystem, particularly looking at the baby BFT and the BFT ecosystem. So if you look at it, the birth of BFT itself, that is the Big Five token, 3 years ago, it opened eyes, so many people's eyes, especially on the African continent, about cryptocurrency, about how much money crypto can actually make for you. It's about how much crypto can change your life. That was BFT. I don't want to go into the numbers of what BFT did. I don't want to go into the statistics of what have been done, but just know one thing that I will salute, especially on the BFT itself, that is the Big Five token. For those that don't know, is the Big Five token, is that it opened eyes for those that never understood when we say that crypto can turn your $10 to $10,000 or to $15,000 or to even $100, right? And this does not need you to be sending money to anyone or anything. Just the knowledge and understanding the dynamics of cryptocurrency, right? Then if you look into the same ecosystem, that is the BFT ecosystem, which is the Big Five token ecosystem that we are building here. Of course, I'll go and talk about how the baby BFT is coming into. But you need to understand first, what is the meaning of a crypto ecosystem? What is it exactly in particular that we are talking about when we are talking of a crypto ecosystem? It's not just a word that you can just throw in because you are doing a discussion on cryptocurrency. It needs to be solid, and it needs to have what you call evidence that backs up that you are indeed building an ecosystem. Right? So if you look at the Big Five token, why am I focusing more on the Big Five token? Because this is where everything is beginning. This is the best currency, this is the best token, this is the best of everything that is happening in this ecosystem. So everything here begins with the Big Five token. Without the Big Five token, then there's no ecosystem where Baby BFT is coming into fit in that. So the first thing that you need to understand in an ecosystem, you need to have the main token. You need to have a blockchain. Of course, you know, the Big Five token is built on top of a what? Of a blockchain, which is the BSC blockchain, one of the most ever-growing, fastest-growing ecosystem of blockchains in the space right now, which gives you not just exposure, but it gives you one of those security aspects that some of those blockchains might not give you. It gives you efficiency, which is mostly some of the blockchains are not giving you in terms of transaction fees, in terms of efficiency, in terms of reducing the cost of transactions. Because if you look at why the BSC blockchain, why this ecosystem is built on the BSC blockchain, if you look at even the transaction fees right now of a BSC itself, if not zero, they are close to zero. So the BSC protocol allows for this efficient. To me, you know, when crypto is talked about, we are talking about freedom of money and we are talking of less cost. That's number one. So that's where we begin with the Big Five token. 3 years down the line, we are still building on top of the first ever technology that we build the token or the ecosystem on, which is the NFT technology. We know what happened when the NFT narrative came into the space. We know what happened when people started knowing about NFTs, right? Even to the sales of the Beeple NFT, the board apps, which made people, one was being bought up for around $10,000 and things like that. Which basically, yes, it was one of those narratives that comes in the space. When a narrative comes, it brings hype. But when the hype dies down, why mainly? This is where I'm going to explain about why are we then as an ecosystem going into utilities that are looking into AI, that are looking into reviving the NFTs through AI, through generative AI technology, that is looking into building a metaverse. I'll explain how these two then interacts. How is Baby BFT adding value to the Big Five token ecosystem? And how is the Big Five token itself adding value to the Baby BFT? So that's what I'm saying. BFT as the mother, as the best token, it is acting as a what? As the best currency of the ecosystem, whereby anything that should do on the Baby BFT, it will add value to the BFT. And also vice versa, this is what is also supposed to happen. This is why if you look into the ecosystem itself and the partnerships that are happening in the ecosystem, for example, the BitMobile ecosystem, the BitMobile partnership, where you can use your 10% to purchase the phone, 10% you can use or purchase with BFT. That's why you see the partnerships in terms of the currency to pay at the moment are being done through what? Through the Big Five token. Because that is where everything begins. Even if you look at payment agencies, payment systems, people that are adopting or people that are making BFT as a payment method, it is being done in BFT. That's where the ecosystem starts. That is the best currency of it. Everything needs to then move from there. Then we go into what are the other things that we need to do. I told you that when the BFT ecosystem was built, it was built as looking into the COVID era, whereby there was nothing happening, whereby even if you look into artists, if you look into things basically generally, there was nothing really happening. People were in lockdown. If you look into artists, people that are into arts, NFTs basically. So the ecosystem was built in that time where people were looking into ways of making their work especially art, African art, be recognized worldwide through the use of the blockchain technology. Is that narrative dead? I'll say no. Why am I saying no? What is happening right now in the NFT technology, which Baby BFT is coming in to go and enhance or move forward the narrative. The narrative is not dead. The core foundation of the BFT ecosystem, which is to empower Africa, to put Africa on the map, be it in the arts industry, be it music industry, sculptures and everything. But now we are coming in through a narrative that Baby BFT is coming to add value using artificial intelligence. How are we using artificial intelligence to enhance that same ecosystem? AI integration, play to earn, that is the gaming aspect of it, staking, and the NFT ecosystem itself. I will explain. And the metaverse, which is the mother of everything, where everything will happen. Remember, our promise as BFT was to build, and it is to build, and it will still to build an African metaverse. But how then is Baby BFT coming in to solve that? The African metaverse, now that Baby BFT as an AI token that is looking to what? To innovate or build this ecosystem using a technology that we know is taking over. How many of you use ChatGPT on a daily basis? How many of you ask AI every day? I think even in other aspects of life, how can I make my boyfriend or my girlfriend not cheat? AI. How can I go and how do I write a resignation letter? That's AI. So that is the technology that we are building that we are building or we are bringing to revolutionize the NFT, social media integration, gaming, and metaverse. It is not just talk, it's a promise. The first of it is we are looking into gaming, right? So if you look into gaming and AI, these two are the ones that are going to revive NFTs. How am I saying so? Because number one, if you look into the modern games that are being played, either play to earn professional games or even games for fun, they are basically utilizing AI and avatars, right? You need to have a character in a particular game, which you will call maybe Elton, or which you will call Wengi, or this one you will call Bramwell, right? And those avatars or NFTs, let me just call them in-game NFTs. Now this is where Baby BFT is coming. So when the gaming is coming, it is coming with number one. It combines and adds value to both the BFT and the Baby BFT. How so? For you to play the game, you need to have game power, or what I would call game currency. You need to have both of them, either or. I'm not actually emptying how the game is going to be, but you need to have both of them. Either you're supposed to have BFT as the game power. When you play, you earn in Baby BFT. When that happens, it is going to be one of those most interesting games whereby you can have an aspect of purchasing an NFT, which I can call a game character within the ecosystem, right? That will belong to you. And that NFT or that avatar or that game character, that however you can call it, it belongs to you. How then are we reviving the NFT ecosystem? The NFT ecosystem or marketplace in somehow within 1, 2, 3, 4 gaming, metaverse, and NFT. In one game, number one, I said you use both currencies, BFT and Baby BFT. Number two, you are going to be having an in-game character which I will call NFTs. Number three, you can be able to purchase, buy, or sell your NFT within the gaming platforms that will come. And all this is powered through the metaverse. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? So what happens on the BFT side, what happens on the baby BFT side through the gaming, through the NFT generative AI, in-game avatars, in-game characters, through that same inbuilt within the game NFT ecosystem, what you are doing within the game, you will be able to play, have fun, you will be able to have value, you can sell whatever that you have earned, baby BFT that you have earned, or BFT that you have earned, or your game character that you have built, or your level of whatever that, wherever you have progressed to. That is value addition within the same ecosystem as we go. And all these transactions, the wins, the everything that is going to happen is going to be recorded on the blockchain. So there's no one who will claim that these wins were mine or what. Everything will be recorded on the blockchain. Then we move into one of the vision that we have on this ecosystem, actually leveraging on AI, is the aspect of social media interactions. If you look at how social media has been, how social media is evolving, and the things that you are able to do with social media, where now we need to look into an ecosystem that retains or that creates fun. By creating that fun, we bring in community engagement, we bring in community building, we bring in as well what we call growth. Right? So we need to create within the game a community that can communicate, give each other, whether is it insights in terms of playing the game, is it selling each other the coins or tokens or game power or whatever that will be there. So it's an ecosystem that is all in one. An ecosystem that you get everything that you need built together, but pushing 5 or 6 things with value addition on both. I'm talking about, guys, what we call the next generation metaverse. That might, it's one thing at a time. I'm not saying tomorrow you wake up, blah, blah, this is there, you wake up this. It takes time. But one thing that I'm not going to do today, I don't want to go into the blockchain metrics of this, or even come and tell you, go and buy, go and do this. I'm going to explain the ecosystem as it is. Then let's look into staking. All right? Others, I know there's a lot of questions. My staking platform, my staking on BFT, I can't do this. Guys, I'll tell you, the staking platform is under maintenance. Why so? Because we are integrating all the systems that we need for the ecosystem for both the baby BFT and BFT. All right? So it's under maintenance. Once it's up and running, everything will be sorted. Rest assured on that. So when it comes to staking, traditional staking platforms, if you look at them before the proof of stake or anything, it was mainly, staking that, of course, earning and having extra there. But if you are going into staking rewards or the staking of the 21st century right now, we are not just looking into earning passive income. We are looking into building a sense of belonging. To say that, there is one thing that I'll tell you when it comes to investment. Someone who stakes and someone who buys to trade and someone who buys to hold. These are 3 different investors. We need them both. But if you stake, you've got a sort of what I call belonging. You've got a sense of feeling that whatever happens in the ecosystem, I do not need to do anything before my staking period is done. It gives you that sense of, number 1, security, and number 2, sense of responsibility. And number 3, it brings what we call a community that builds each other. So those are the things that we need, of course, with tools, AI tools to help with the earnings, how to enhance the earnings, how to bring active involvement into the projects and everything that goes along that way. And finally, one thing that I'll talk about is issues to do with partnerships. As I said before, if you look at the deal, that is the deal between BFT and Beat Mobile. It's just one of those first deals that you are seeing coming into light, but it doesn't mean that that's the only deal. There's a whole lot of partnerships that are coming. And if looking into the future, partnerships that we are looking at, guys, these are not partnerships that are not benefiting the ecosystem. We are looking into building partnerships that are going to build an independent ecosystem that is strong. And these partnerships, if people come in to say, can we offer you this and you give us such tokens, or we do this, you give us such tokens, those are not partnerships that we are looking into building. We are looking into partnerships that have to do with growth. As I have said, we are looking to build a protocol. We are looking to build an ecosystem that can run even in the future, next 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. That will be able to build its own blockchain, roll out blockchain courses, roll out blockchain protocols within that ecosystem. That's what we're looking into. So if you're looking into partnerships, there's not even a day that you hear that these tokens have been withdrawn and sent to this, or 500 million tokens. We are not building ecosystems. We are not building partnerships that will tell us send coins to do this or send coins to do that. We are looking into partnerships to build a strong, independent ecosystem that will even bring in more adoption in Africa. That will even bring in more projects in Africa, not just projects from Wengai, Elton, or from the BFT team, but projects within the African community utilizing the Big Five token ecosystem or protocol. That's what we're looking into. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I say the decision is yours. And most of this stuff in terms of the gaming, how it is built, I just gave you a tip of an iceberg, which is almost 3/4 done, because there's now integration that needs to be done. But remember, nothing is going to happen until October, or the first locking period is done, because we need to have part of the tokens unlocked to feed into the rewards, to feed into the staking platform, and to do like that. So within that period, within this period, it's up to you. You decide what you want to do. You decide which direction you want to take. All that I wanted to say, I wanted to make you see the bigger picture of this ecosystem, of which most of it, talking about the metaverse, the play to earn, is not going to be one game. It's not going to just be this game and that game. It's not going to be just a metaverse that is just, one of those that are not exciting. It's going to be fun, bringing wealth and making wealth. Thank you so much. Have a good night.